Okay, what do we have here? So 854 is, I would think, easily the best spot. I'm placing fourth, so I am not going to get that. 5, 9, 10 will probably go. And then I'm not sure what third. The 659 is a bunch of production, but it's all wooden sheep. So those two don't generally go well together. And 694, same problem, a lot of production, just two resources, and they also don't really go well together. So yeah, I would think you'd want to go first or second. It's 843, 810-3. Also, these two spots kind of lock up the only two good ore tiles. So that could be a problem. You can cut over to the 810 or the 5-2 or the 8-3, I guess. Yeah, takes the 8-5-4. That's expected. Does not point to the 810 though. Maybe they're worried that someone will go on the 810 directly. That could happen, I guess. I don't think I want to do that as fourth though, because that just opens up the board a lot for everyone else, and it's not very productive for me. So placing fourth and going on the coast, it's pretty hard to win. So what am I gonna do? Maybe if the 659 is open, try and pair that the best. If I could just take 659, 694 and just play roads and production 3-1 ports, I would be happy with that. Coordinated sixes on the roads. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get that. I think third will take one of these two spots, if not second. Although second, I think, should take the 5, 9, 10. I guess kind of the worst case scenario is 5, 9, 10 goes and 6, 5, 9. Because then the other two best spots are both on the brick, the 6 and the 8, 4, 3. Boy, the animation is really slow. I better place first, and then I could fix that. All right, so I did end up getting what I wanted. I could take the 5, 9, 10 and point to the 8, 10. That just seems unnecessary. And the more ore, and then just a bunch of useless wood. But it's a risk, and I don't get the coordinated sixes, which is not good, and there's just not enough wood to go with the brick. So right now I'm just deciding which one to take first, I think. Do I want a brick and 2 wheat or a wood and 2 sheep? I don't think it really matters that much, but I'll probably just start with the wheat and brick. They're just generally better resources. Trying to think if there's anything else I could even think about taking, but it's just too much production to up the board for my opponents. Takes up a lot of 3 hex spots. And there's no reason to take this 6, 5, 11. I want to be able to for sure get at least one of these 3-1 ports. probably point to this one, or I'd rather get this one, that's 9-10. It's just more productive, and this one just doubles up on the 6 and probably makes it a target. All right, so let's take this one first. Oh, I did turn off animation. So yeah, no ore. That's 13 plus 12 pips. It's 25. That's the most you can possibly get on a spiral board. And I guess I am just on the 6s and 9s, and the 5 and the 4, but it's not bad to be doubled up on 6s and 9s. They are pretty good numbers. I would think nobody would just go directly on the 6-2 or the 9-10. But I guess we'll see. And I'm glad green went on this 8-10-3 instead of the 6-5-9. Like I was saying before, if they took the 6-5-9, then I'm kind of left in a bad spot where I'll just have too much brick. I could get the 6 here. That would be all right, I guess. 6-9-4, 6-3-11, but that's not nearly as good as what I got. I would get a little bit of ore, but I would rather just get an extra 4 pips of production on 13 than just 9 here. And then have this 9-10 expansion spot, which is really strong. That's 7 pips and a 3-1 port. That's just a really good, quick spot to get to. Just more fuel for the port. The question will be is how do I upgrade to cities, and when do I do that? Try and trade for ore with these two, but I don't know how often I'll be able to do that. Oh, they did go 6-2. That's interesting. Don't like that. It happened so quick without animations. I mean, took me by surprise. Let's see if they started working again. Yeah, that's not a good pick. 6-2, 8-10-3. That's the. Hopefully, people will think I'm in a bad spot now and they'll trade with me. But yeah, that's bad. And they double up on the 6 and make it a huge target. So obviously, don't like that pick. What I guess I didn't look at what they would take instead. This first pick just leaves them nothing as an out. That's why it was a bad pick. Because it doesn't. Once I take this, it doesn't. Yeah. Animation's still terrible, so I had to turn that off. And blue takes 6-3-11. That's decent. They'll look to expand to one of these 2-3 hex spots. I'm hoping orange doesn't take either of these 2 spots. I would like to be able to get them both now that I'm cut off over on this side. If I could get the 9-10 and the 8-10, that would obviously be awesome. I don't know which one I would go to first. I kind of want the 3-1 port as soon as possible to deal with all this excess wheat and sheep. Okay, so they go on the 8-4. That makes kind of sense for them. It's a brick pour with 8 brick, and I don't know where else they were going to go. Yeah, the 6-2 now doesn't really hurt me that much at all because I have two good expansion spots here and here. I want to go to the 910 first because it's faster and it's actually just more flexible. This wheat port, I guess the wheat port's pretty good. I have pretty much wheat, but I have just so much sheep as well. The 3-1 is just a better port, but I don't want orange to cut back and cut this off. I do want that spot, so maybe I should go there first. Although even if I build two roads there, they can still wrap around the 8 to the wheat port there if they get, I don't know, a road building and cut me off. So that's kind of a worry. The 910 is just safe. Try to get a wood, and then I'll get the wood and brick at the same time, and I'll have them in equal ratios. Well, green's already a bot, so they placed here on the 6-2, and then they left. Yeah, I can do that. I should be getting plenty of sheep. I hit yes, didn't I? I don't like this no animations. It's really throwing everything off. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to this safe 3-1 port. But the animations were going so slow that was even worse. Although, look, green gets a 2. Makes it all worthwhile. But they're also a robot. So yeah, I should probably want to trade. I would want to trade with them anyway, before they were a robot, just because this pick made it so that they basically couldn't win. There's a lot of 10s right before I build there. There's a 6. They wanted 2 wheat for his sheep. Who is this? Orange? I don't think I need to give them that. There goes my. They block the brick and they steal the brick. Even though blue already built the settlement. They definitely didn't want brick. They wanted wheat, and they didn't get it. Maybe I should say something. Yeah, if I'm going to give them 2 for 1, it's not going to be on their turn. But I don't know. Maybe I should there's a bot road going to nowhere. I basically have no choice at this point. I hope they give blue some love this time. I guess they can block the 6, but they should steal. No, they block the 9. Oh, they should steal from blue. All right, they steal from blue. All right, so I didn't say anything and it worked out, which is generally what I do. Nobody wants to hear anything anyway. All right, so next priority is to get to this A10. Orange does have a development card, so that can be kind of scary. Although they built a road there, so I don't know if that's a road building. I would think not. Or for a wheat. Nah, 1 ore doesn't help me yet. I'd rather just try and build this A10, although it's tempting. And my wheat's blocked. Or wood for wheat. Alright, I'll take that. Thankfully, it's just a settlement. Probably should have been tracking better. If that was for a city, that wouldn't be that great of a trade. And even a settlement's pretty good. It's an ore port. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about ore ports generally, although 3 just rolled, but I feel like you usually want to use your ore. Like he needs to city now, so I don't know. I don't think he's going to port his ore. Just try and get some more ore, why not? I have a lot of extra wood now. Maybe blue will do it. Blue wants the wood anyway. That doesn't work. Try and get a sheep, but that doesn't complete a settlement anyway. I would have to get a brick and a sheep. So I think I should just drop the 2 roads. I want to get this settlement locked up. And then once I get that, I can basically do whatever. I can try and upgrade. I can buy development cards. I can go for road, which I hate to do in these online games, but I can try it. Kind of feels like double 6s I should. That 7 is no good. I'm sure they're going to steal from me somewhere because I look kind of threatening. Maybe the 4 wheat or the 5 sheep makes orange play their development card. Yeah. I hope they don't take the ore. Or maybe they won't steal from me at all. Oh, sure. Yeah. Extort me all you want. I don't want the wheat. It's a helpful trade for me, I guess, anyway, although I wouldn't normally just take that without being extorted. I generally don't like to extort either on these online games because it's more typing and nobody likes it much either. 11. Now I need a brick. They have brick. What do they want? They might need sheep. Just throw out trades. These timers go pretty fast. You just gotta Try something. Or I don't think I want to do that. I could just buy a development card if need be. It's not my favorite move, but it's not bad. I am kind of looking like a target currently. And I get a knight, that's fine. Ooh, that's a revenge block. Although they are ahead at 4 points, so maybe not so much. But I'm sure they weren't happy that they got stolen from when they're at 2 points and I'm at 3. And I've just built these two pretty dangerous roads. So there's a lot of knights being played now. Orange and blue back to back. I'm assuming I'll be blocked, so I'll probably play mine. Not susceptible to extortion, orange. Just take it. What? Oh yeah, orange is not happy now. Embargo for the rest of the game. Oh, that's good for me. My knight will probably go on the 5-or. Yeah. Although they need wheat, but I'm not going to block myself, and the 5-or is a wheat. Okay, generally, that's another thing with extorting. Look what happened with the extortion. I will solo you the rest of the game. All right, I'm at exactly 7 cards. I'll roll first. 9. Oh, you made an enemy, though. You did. What do I want here? 9 rolled. I don't think there's much anything I can do. I want ore. I can. Let me just try and trade for some quick. I think I should play the knight. Yeah, I got to get on that 5-or, and there's no knights out there. It's got to be blue. And I get an ore. Cool. I could city right now, but it would take 2 expensive ports, and I don't want to risk losing this 8-or. What I could also do is settle and buy a development card. This gives me a wheat port. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of production. I don't necessarily need the city. City is more important when you really need to up your production. I just have a ton anyway, so I'll just buy the development card. Get a monopoly. No big deal. No, that's obviously great. I can mono wheat with a wheat port or anything with a 3-to-1 port. Pretty fortunate. So I guess, yeah, when in doubt, just buy the development card. No, it's not always true. But if you get a mono, it is always true. Steals a sheep from me. I need these animations to know what's happening. Everything's just so quick. It's another 11. I think I'll just pass. Can't build ships. And 659 would be great for seafarers. Alright, so what's the next objective? I would like to upgrade, obviously, but the ore's blocked. In terms of my road path, I don't know. I could either cut through the middle, that's very unproductive, there's no settlement spots, or I could go to the 912. They steal from blue because they're at 5, and that's all a robot knows how to do, is steal from whoever's leading. I'll pause for a little bit to make them think I have a knight, but I want to leave it on the 6, which is actually plausible, although it's not the case. This time. Alright, so this hand, not great. I'll just try and get an ore somehow. I'll even give a brick. I think I want to go for army, just because blue kind of has a good road. Even though they don't have as much wood and brick as me, they're kind of have a better road path, and this 912 isn't very good. And I'm getting blocked a lot. And I'd rather get it onto that 5 ore for as much of the game as I can. So what do I port for the ore is the question. Probably the sheep. The wood's blocked and I have more of the sheep. Gotta remember I have this wheat port too. Whenever I get a second port on top of the first port I get, I always just forget that I have it, which is dumb. That's a knight. I don't know if I should even drop a road. It's 912. Nah. I guess I will not. Maybe I should have. A lot of rolls give me 2 cards because I'm double up on a lot, so even at 4 cards I was at risk of going over 7 before my next roll. I was hoping to maybe port this or make a bigger play. Yeah, playing with a robot, it's even more important to stay under the radar. They just steal from whoever has the most points on the board, so it's one way to abuse the bot, one of many ways. Another wood. Oh, I want it there. There's nowhere else good to block them. And they are clearly the block. Can I get orange and? Yeah, I can get them both by going this 4. I don't want to block the robot at all. Ugh, this is ugly. I don't want to take road. And these roads would make me take road. Maybe someone wants brick. I can buy a development card. Sheep for 2 brick. Orange offered that and then canceled it. I'm just going to port for an ore. Or 1 ore. 2 wood for 1 ore. I just offered that, didn't I? I'll either trade either for 2 cards or 1 ore. Sheep for 1 brick. It just puts me closer to 7ing out. I don't really need it. He didn't play a knight. They didn't play a knight either. Pay attention to what's rolling, although it's really fast with animation. But with the Monopoly, it is important. It's a wood and a brick. That doesn't do, and then they cancel it right away. Wood and a brick wouldn't do anything for me anyway. I don't know how much wheat is out there. Man. I think I had to do that just to make my hand actionable. Pretty tight traders. Stole a wood from me. You said you'd solo them the rest of the game. What did they steal from me? A brick. I don't like that. And then they stole an ore. How'd they do that? Well, they played a knight. That makes sense. And a 12. I think I'll just ignore that question. But this fainting is getting noticed. So the mono is pretty weak, I think. I need ore and wheat to upgrade. And yeah, but the longer I take without doing anything, they know I have a monopoly. But it's just wood and brick out there right now. I don't want a mono just wood or brick. Man, there's been a lot of 11s. And that helps blue a lot. They have 12 cards. And then a 5. I would mono ore, but it's going to be gone. Nobody has a city yet. I think they're going to build a city. They did 2 4-for-1s for it. Yeah, there it goes. Kind of glad they didn't cut me off here on this road, though. That's what I don't want, is them to kind of want the settlement spot. Although it's my 5th settlement, I don't really want it now. I want to upgrade before I build the 5th settlement. 6. Ouch. Well, now that they built the 5 roads, though, I can build a road without it showing as many points. They don't have any. Blue doesn't have any development cards either, so the 2 cards would be hard for them to cut me off here. And mono targets are bad. again, I can try and trade for a wheat. That's about it. But I don't think I'm going to get it. Yeah, I don't know. Just build a road and pass. Try for 2. So I don't really want to just build a road and pass. It still puts me in danger. But I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, the 5s, they're not rolling at the right time. And they get the wheat. I can't monopoly it when he rolls it or they roll it right on their turn. I can't do it. Or for sheep. Okay. I guess that'll give him a development card. I probably shouldn't do that. But I really need to upgrade. No, they won't do it with me anyway. Yeah, maybe they'll just hold the ore and I could mono it, although it's not a very good monopoly. But yeah, they're close to army. Six. So wait, did they port for that settlement? This animation sucks. Seven. Kind of want to leave the 5 open for the mono, but that's probably dumb. Get an ore. Guess I should probably go for army. They can't even build a settlement to cut me off there. They can get road though. Tough call. Road or card. I think I'll buy the card. Another mono. Wow. Probably have to start playing those. But now I blocked the 5, so I don't have good targets. Really need that city. It should be not necessarily true, but it's kind of true. 9. They didn't do anything, so I hope this is a good roll. 5. All right, now I mono the ore. That was a good roll. Although I kind of want the wheat too. But I need to hurt orange. Or I mean, I need to hurt blue. Ugh. And this doesn't give me a city and a settle. I think it does. No, it doesn't give me a city and a settle. Shoot. I gotta do it anyway. And which one do I city? It's got to be the 694. Give me more wheat, since this one's just like on an island. Just pass with this. Three. I don't get anything on 3. They get ore again. And they didn't take army again. Maybe I should take army. So that's more ore out there. Six. Yeah. Alright, how about a good mono target here? There's a lot of wood and brick. And 9. It's not great. Six is wood. Try the dirty mono. Man, should I do that? I still don't think I can win. I can get to 9. But 9 isn't winning. They have 6 roads, actually, so this would only... Yeah. What's the play here? I think I go for army. Alright, there's a knight. Now I settle, maybe? Or do I connect for the road? I think I'm just going to connect for the road. It's kind of all over the place. Yeah, that was pretty... I wasn't sure what I was doing the whole time. I kind of knew what I was doing, but I guess I'm going for both road and army to win, which I usually don't do. Hoping they can't complete this. I don't... I guess I have to try and say something. Alright, they ended. Thank goodness. I distracted them with the chatting. Yeah, that's the problem with going for both, is they can just take one away and then you wasted resources, like if they would have conspired to get blue road. But I was running out of time and I couldn't decide if I wanted to settle or just go for the win. I'm glad it worked out. I don't know if it was the right play in the long run, or if you ran a simulation. I maybe should have just settled, and that would have got me to 9 the next turn, and then I would just need another point, which could be kind of tricky because I can't settle anymore. And yeah, the dirty mono, I think it was good to get that weed. And then I guess there was only 3 ore out there besides the 2 ore I traded, but it did help me a lot. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I maybe should have just settled the 9-12. Even though I won, I'm not sure if that was the right play. Panicked under the clock. Oh, it could be hard to like figure out mono turns with just the 1 minute they give you. I guess you bank time when you make a move, but it still goes pretty quick. Yeah, robot 3 points. Even the mighty robot couldn't overcome this 6-2 pick. Yeah, that was bad. They just hit pick 6-2 and then bolted. Kind of threw off the game. Although I don't think there was like a lot of trades with green, the robot. I didn't trade once with them. Oh wait, did they? Yeah, they turned those off, didn't they, for the rank games? That's probably a good thing. People were complaining. I don't know. Dice are pretty good in my favor. A lot of 6s that I'm doubled up on. 9s are not as good. Yeah, see, 11s, I did count that out. There was very inordinate amount of 11s. That helped Blue a lot. They could have won if they had Road or Army. But they didn't end up getting either one. I got them both. But I don't know if I should have. The safe 9 points on my next turn is, if you're playing in a game where there's voice chat and communication, that's probably the play, because they're just gonna do whatever they can to get Blue Road. I tried to talk them out of it. There's not much I could say. I said one thing, and then Orange instantly called that out as being, wrong, and I did have the win just by playing a knight. But by saying something, it got the timer running, and then they ran out of time. So yeah, abusing the timer. And then, since they don't do trades anymore for the robot, the only way to abuse that, I guess, is to stay 1 point under Blue. So the robot will automatically just steal from Blue if on the board you're 1 point less than them, which I was most of the time. That's what everyone wants, right? To abuse the bot. It did not produce the most resources from rolling. It's because I never got a city up until the end. And when you have monos early in your back pocket, you just kind of never feel like you have to city. You just wait until you get a good mono, and then you can city. But it almost got too late. Blue could have won. But even in the middle, I tend to hold monos too long, but even in the middle, there was nothing. There was never a good target. It was just wood and brick being rolled and sheep. I didn't want any of that. I wanted ore or wheat to complete a city. I think both times I monoed ore, and they weren't even that good of monos. I think they were like 5 or 6 each time. And the time I got 5, 2 of them were my own that I traded away on the dirty mono. So they were not huge monos, but they're enough to win. I suppose you should win if you get 2 monopolies every time. But I've definitely lost with 2 monopolies. Can brag about that. I bought 7 development cards. Yeah, nobody wanted to get Army. I was encouraging Orange to get Army at one point just because I was just going to go for Road, and I didn't want Blue to get Army, so I figured I'd be able to beat out Blue on Road. Orange would get Army, and they couldn't win. Yeah, this initial spot was killer, but the rolls didn't come up. They were only on 854, like they kept saying, and yeah, those were just underperforming. It's the variance of going on 3 numbers. I've done it before too. It's just sometimes you have to, and just yeah, they didn't roll. 6s destroyed 8s, 13-5. 9s did 1 better than 5s. And 4s and 10s were their normal whatever selves, just not that great. I swear, more often I see like an 11 or 3 pop off big than a 4 or 10, and that should just not happen, right? But it does. I don't play enough to put any stock into that. So yeah, one of these games I'll win with just Road and no Army, but I don't really know how to play a Road game without buying development cards. I don't know how I would do this here in the setup. I'm kind of boxed in as soon as the 6-2 is taken. I don't have a ton of settlement spots. I just have this 8-10, this 9-10, and this 9-12. I don't know if I could win with just Road. I guess, yeah, I could. I have 4 cities and longest road. But I'm not getting a ton of ore to do that. Three cities, 2 settlements, longest road would work as well. I could do that. Or you just get a VP like I got and you can make that work. But it was easier to just get Army once nobody wanted to take it. So yeah, I think that was the 6th placement game, so I'll be able to see the leaderboard soon. I think I'm 4-2. Can't remember. I know I lost last game, and it sucked. All right, see you later.